in football, and at the moment, it's the team that has the best defense on top. Now, let's move on to our newest segment in the Minsan Football Show. So we have the yellow card, red card, PFL Hot Takes segment. Now, you might be wondering, what is this? We've had a guest, we've had Minsan Question of the Day, now we have this. So after this, and by the way, the audience can participate in this. This is why this is gonna be fun. Now, us in the panel, as we see the red card here. You might be asking, what's this for? Each of us in the panel is gonna present a hot take about the PFL. After each take, the other hosts will either flash a yellow card if they think it's a bit risky but fair enough, or a red card if they disagree completely with whatever take that is. So, does it make sense to you guys? I'm assuming it's really easy to understand also for those of you in the audience. Now, I'll go first as privilege of being host. I will go first with presenting my PFL hot take. And
bring out your cards first.
Okay.
Yes, we prepared for
Padayo
this.
si Jing eh.
Jing has a referee.
Grabe.
Referee vote.
Meron pa siyang...
Guys, professional ka dapat, diba? Guys, professional yung show natin eh. Dapat ganyan.
Well, there you have it. So, well, I'm not gonna. I hope I don't get a red card from someone who has the referee book. But as privilege of being host, I will present my hot take first. Now, I thought a lot about this. I had like 3 or 4 different hot takes, and then I realized the first 3 or 4 might not go down so well. But my hot take, actually, it was already alluded to earlier on, and because of that, might actually not be a hot take. But my hot take is that Maharlika FC are going to finish in the top 5. Yes, that's right. I believe
Naman ganyan sinabi.
that does mean that someone in my projected top 6 will finish outside of their projected top 6. Who that is, that's not the hot take. My hot take is Maharlika will finish in the top 5. And I think it's because of the fact that we've seen it in their big games and in their games that they expected to win. They've won or they've competed well. Again, they lost to Manila Digger, but they scored first in that game. It was 3-2, and it was a really tight game. Then they also lost to Aguilas. They conceded an own goal after equalizing right away. So they lose these types of games against big teams that are 50-50 or really close.
Yeah.
And because of that, I just think that there's something in this team that's gonna pull a big result sooner or later in the PFL. Again, there's gonna be a lot of games this season, but once they get that big result, I think it's gonna kickstart their, I wouldn't say title race, but it's gonna kickstart their push to the top 6. So that's why I think they'll finish in the top 6 and even in the top 5.
Wait lang. Kala ko ba parang he's supposed to give his hot take, will give a response.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna expound.
Na-excite siguro.
Inanahan mo kami. Una,
Red
you get the red card for that,
ka.
for breaking the format. Pero, for the idea, actually, yellow card ako. And then, after you expound, I agree. So we're gonna wave away the yellow and we're just gonna go thumbs up.
Yeah.
I guess, right? Because I do think you have a great point that Maharlika is doing the right things. And if they keep on this trajectory, they might end up where they want to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say a yellow card as well.
Show it. Brand the shit.
Yellow card as well. The only thing, that's why yellow card, it's like, pwedeng oo, pwedeng hindi, diba?
Yeah.
So, just making sure that I got the rules correct. But yeah, but at the moment, for me, for that to really be like a true statement, I have to see them beat a big team.
Yeah. That's
Fair.
That's completely fair.
Fair. Okay, whose turn is it?
You in the hot seat today. Sir Jing Hamlang, you are next for your hot take. Now I'm excited for this one.
Okay, if nothing drastic changes, I think we should start considering a Philippine Armed Forces team.
Okay.
Do away with Army, Navy, and Air Force, and we just do a combined Armed Forces team. That's my take. Come on, Natasha.
Wait,
The suspense is
wait
killing
lang,
me.
it's making me think.
I'm yellow card.
Okay, we got a yellow.
Yeah.
We got a yellow.
Oh,
And the referee's really giving this one some thought.
Wait lang. Upload VAR. Kailangan mo tumingin. Can you say that sentence again? Wait, I need to really
If
think about it.
nothing drastic changes,
Okay.
we really need to start considering a combined Philippine Armed Forces team.
Yellow.
Yellow.
But not because I agree with your statement.
Okay?
But, wait, I do agree with your statement a little bit. Sorry. But more of that, I just think also that there should be a Div 1 and Div 2.
Sure. That's a parallel idea to something that...
Yeah, to that extent.
Right.
But like, I agree, but also like something. But yeah. So,
because
yellow card.
my thought being that I think it's one of the biggest untapped markets. Honestly, the armed forces, I want them to do well so badly, in fact, that I think they could join forces and be a much more competitive side. Honestly, if I was a sponsor, I would throw my money at Army because you don't need them to win in order to get good value for your money. They just need to do better, which is a pretty low bar at the moment, right? So if you start winning games, even just one or two around, you're gonna get the coverage that you want. People are gonna be like, oh, Army's finally winning. But and even that, like, it's not even that far of a bar. You just need to train better. You need to have, keep the team at a level of fitness that is acceptable, and then employ certain tactics that would help you win against teams that you could probably outmuscle and out-experience. So for me, the bar is low. But if you're not going to be willing to make the changes or recruit better amongst your reserves and not even have to tap the foreigner market, then join the forces. There's a lot of great players in Air Force, a lot of good players in Navy, and you're also promoting, encouraging the getting along of our armed forces instead of them just being rivals all the time. To promote a bit of, harmony between them, at least for these particular games. And I think we'd have an opportunity to unite a massive fan base around the team. So that's my take on that.
Okay. Sure na. Sure na. Like, sure na ako. Sure na yellow.
Also, it's not like it's a far-fetched idea. In Korea, the Armed Forces team exists in the K-League 1 and they're in the top half of the division and they're doing well, right? And these are teams, players that need to do mandatory military service, but they're from 3 different branches of the Armed Forces.
So it can work
can
the
work.
K-League format, which the
In the
people...
it's
which
a
the
very
people follow.
competitive league,
Yeah.
right? So there you go.
And people might forget also before that, historically, the armed forces in the PFL or UFL back in the day, they were a fun team to watch also.
They made it to the finals.
No, wait.
Yeah.
In the first editions of the UFL,
My young
Air
friend.
Force were
Yeah,
the team to
okay.
beat.
Yep.
They were the champions of the league and the champions of the cup. Really, really good team and great value for money to watch in terms of entertainment. But this was also Chifi Calicdong,
Yeah.
Yanti Bersales, a great team.
Yan na rin ito.
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly. So, maybe things have changed and the priorities are different.
Yep.
But I definitely see that still becoming a possibility. It's just that right now, the way things are going, maybe a big change is necessary.
That's true. It's not working. We might as well try something. new.
Right.
Makes sense.
Now, last but not the least, I'm excited for this one also. Natasha, what is
May gig.
your PFL hot take?
Okay.
Jing is getting ready with his refereeing book. I'll get ready with my cards as well.
Okay, so my PFL hot take is the man of the match should come from the winning team.
Wow!
Parang may iba.
Okay.
Sige, please expound.
It's very easy. You win, man of the match should come from your team. Words of the day, even if you all sucked, somebody scored the goal. Give it to the goal scorer. When you win the championship and the tournament, where does the MVP go to? Who does the MVP go to? It's never to the losing team. The MVP will always come from the winning team. And when you trickle that down to the games that we have per game, the man of the match should always come from the winning team.
Diego, you want to jump in here? Or would you like
I'll
to
just say while I agree for the most part, there are probably some super instances in football where the losing team has an individual. Just so good.
Good evening and welcome to your third and final match on this Saturday triple header, and what a treat we have on our hands with the always entertaining youngsters of TULOY Football Club taking on the recent champions of the final series, Dynamic Herb CEBU FC. Welcome to live scenes at the Rizal Memorial Stadium here in Manila. Jing Hamlang and Diego Cordero here to call the action in what is a pivotal match, particularly for Dynamic Herb CEBU, who find themselves outside of the crucial top 6 as of the moment. It's a humid day here in Manila. Surprisingly, no rain as of yet, but there have been a few rain showers so far. 29.2 degrees, so it's warm, it's humid, not quite ideal for the players. There'll be challenging conditions, but otherwise, the pitch, immaculate. And we are excited for the contest we are going to see today, because we are expecting that it is going to be a very entertaining and high-tempo contest. TULOY FC have been on a bit of a slump as of late, but they have always shown potential and always shown entertainment as part of their package. What are you expecting today?
Yeah, 5 matches so far this season for TULOY. Only 1 win in that list of 5 matches, but they have shown a lot of promise going forward. Barely lost out to Maharlika and then beat Don Bosco Girlie 3-0. Kept it close against Stallion, and then for Manila Digger and Aguilas played catch-up for the whole game. But they did score goals, and at the end of the day, this is a team that going forward, they will create chances. That's one thing that is guaranteed from this team. So I wouldn't be surprised if today they do more of the same of that.
It is incredible how they find the back of the net with regularity, and one of the key reasons why they do that is that young man in the middle, John Halike, has been spectacular. He's really grown into a proper player. A couple years ago, nakita natin, there's potential there. Ngayon, nakikita natin, he's starting to realize that potential, and he's become a real threat, particularly in front para sa TULOY FC.
Yeah, he's their top scorer. He's their go-to man when going down that final third. A lot of good goals this season. Weak foot, doesn't matter. He takes those chances. I remember one of his goals in particular against another big opponent in Manila Digger. Left-footed strike straight into the top corner. So he gives you that, but he also likes to drop into midfield and to link the play. So he's a very well-rounded player, not your usual number 9. It's very nice to see a promising youngster in Philippine football like John Lloyd Halike.
So many talented youngsters on this squad. Cyril South has been scoring some bangers. Harry Nunez will wear the captain's armband and will lead the team. John Diaz has been potent on the wings. There's a lot of really good players in this side, and again, John Lloyd Halike, ang player natin na talagang tututukan natin ngayong gabi. Will he be able to express himself against this back line of Cebu FC? We're gonna find out very shortly.
Yeah, definitely the player to watch if you're a defender of Cebu, because he does like to pop up around the pitch. He can score and shoot from range. That is another thing he has in his locker. So we definitely will see some chances fall his way tonight.
One thing that has certainly developed in his game has been his physicality. 2 seasons now that he's been playing in the top flight of Philippine football. He's getting used to playing amongst men now, not just the boys. He is, of course, a youth national team player. He's gone through the ranks all the way from the 15s, I believe. So he's no stranger to the international stage, and he's now grown accustomed to the top flight of Philippine football. Will he be able to express himself against Cebu FC? We'll find out shortly. But first, let's listen in to the head coach of Tuloy.
Hindi siya magiging namin maging prepare doon. Then, yung preparation namin as much as possible, same kung paano kami maglaro sa Tuloy FC. Play simple, and we are trying to create a lot of chances to play against them, and susubukan namin manalo kahit mahirap. Yun po, thank you.
One thing you can count on with Tuloy FC, they have a style, they implement that style, and they're gonna go for it every single time.
Yeah, we will see the same. It doesn't matter who they play against. They try to play that same way against every team in the PFL, and it's encouraging. Maybe a little bit. Sometimes it doesn't work, but it's encouraging nonetheless that they live and die by that philosophy.
They're up against a dynamic Cebu side who are fresh from a season where they've won their first silverware, but they haven't really gone on in this one and made the most of the momentum, so to speak. It's been a bit of a stop-start season for them. In fact, they've never really gotten going as of yet. What has been the struggle so far here for this Cebu side?
I think it's been pointed out in the past that they don't fully control games like they should do with their quality. Again, 2 losses, 2 wins, and 1 draw. That's quite inconsistent for a team that, as you mentioned already, has silverware as recently as last season. So in their big games, as you see there, they lost to Wantagig, but beat Stallion, then lost to Kaya, beat Don Bosco Gareli, and then they drew with Manila Digger. So it's been inconsistent. You do definitely see that they have quality because they do turn it up now and then. It's definitely a bit of a problem to be behind this early on in the season. Again, they are 7, so they're actually outside the top 6, which is going to be the championship round come the end of the first 2 round robins. But I think for Cebu, they have to get up and running sooner rather than later. Otherwise, there might be too much distance to catch up with the other teams.
Rico on this, back in the lineup, there will be no Amirul for them. He picked up a red card in their previous outing against Manila Digger. So here is the side that you have. Roberto Corsame will wear the armband for Coach Glenn Ramos. Abu C will be leading the line. It's a young back line for Cebu this season. 19-year-old Brian Villanueva will be having another outing in the Philippines top flight. But our focus will be on Roberto Corsame Jr. Papu scored a crucial equalizer in that draw against Manila Digger, and he has grown to become a leader in this side.
Yeah, and in that match against Manila Digger, he never stopped running. He was energetic for the whole 90 minutes, and he led the team to a draw last week against Manila Digger. Again, he is also the captain for this Cebu side, so he definitely has a big role to play if Cebu are to take all 3 points this evening.
He talked about it in his post-match interview. The only thing that he can guarantee is his effort, and it was just about ensuring that there was nothing left in the gas tank after the 90 minutes. That's the kind of commitment that the captain has, and you hope that it transmits to all of the other players as well here for dynamic Cebu FC. Now let's check in with their head coach, Glenn Ramos.
I'm expecting this game is a great game, no? Tuloy FC also in technical, and they play together. We and also our team is really focused in our preparation for this match. Our goals is to get the 3 points. I'm expecting the players are well performed this evening, and so that we give them a good fight, and they are motivated also in this game.
You heard it from head coach Glenn Ramos. Just so important this game for Dynamic Herb Cebu. They've got some tricky fixtures on the horizon, and if they are to finish in the top 6, it's important to get all 3 points here against Tuloy FC.
Yeah, and you did mention they have a tough run coming up, so you have to look at this match from a Cebu perspective as one of their must-win games. Again, they are already behind that top 6, the makeshift top 6, I should say, and it's not good to be behind this early on, so they need to get as much points as possible.
Kickoff just around the corner, and so much football action to enjoy, not just tonight and tomorrow in the PFL, but in midweek there is going to be the return of the Filipinas on home soil. They're going to be taking on Uzbekistan in a friendly that takes place on the 29th of October, 7 p.m. here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium, and there's going to be a musical act as well, as Mayonnaise will be coming to town and to enjoy in the musical experience as well as the footballing one. Definitely lots on offer here in Manila. Also, the FIFA Futsal Women's World Cup is going to be taking place from the 21st of November to the 7th of December. The first ever FIFA Futsal Women's World Cup is being hosted by the Philippines. So make sure to catch all the action. Head over to FIFA.com/tickets to get your tickets today. So there we have it. So much to look forward to, but our focus is solely right now on the young guns of Tuloy FC, testing themselves against the seasoned Dynamic Herb Cebu FC, who are looking to really jumpstart this season. It's a massive game, a big one for Cebu, and we will see how it all unfolds. Glad you could join us on the PFL YouTube channel. Here we go. Tuloy versus Cebu. Adi Nunez and Roberto Corsame Jr. joins Samuel Mendoza in the middle. He's going to be assisted today by Relly Balilla and Brian Buergo. Fourth official will be Crismel Cayabyab. Coin toss. Man from Muntinlupa, youngster from Tuloy FC, Adi Nunez, across Roberto Corsame Jr., who hails out of Tondo. been quite a rise in his career to make it to this point with Cebu. And a real test here as we take a look at the starting 11 for Takitomo Suzuki.
Yeah, a lot of talents to look out for. You have the two Saots, Haren De Gracia, Michael Antillo Jr., who has been their goalkeeper for most of this season, making a lot of saves, but also conceding a lot of goals. You have John Henson Diaz, who by my research, and this is according to our transfer mark Warriors, John Diaz is the youngest player in the PFL at 18 years old. So he's definitely the youngest player in the PFL, but definitely also one of the most talented ones. I remember an assist he made in a Don Bosco Garelli win not too long ago.
Let's take a look at Dynamic Herb Cebu FC. They've got a youngster in 19-year-old Brian Villanueva, but it is a formidable front line as well. Abu C up there alongside Rico Andes, and Anderson is going to be quite formidable as well. It's physically imposing against a perhaps smaller side here in Tuloy. We'll see how they deal with that threat from our reigning final series winners.
Yeah, and actually just on Brian Villanueva, he is playing against his former side. And interestingly, the last time these two teams met, the only time these two teams have met, it ended 7-1 in favor of Dynamic Herb Cebu. And the lone goal scorer for Tuloy that day was Brian Villanueva.
Players are set. Of course, Tuloy in blue, Cebu in red. Takitomo Suzuki back on the sideline for Tuloy FC. Again, they are going to be sticking to the game plan, and we'll see if they're able to impose that game plan against a tough opponent here in Cebu. Villanueva's first touch. Abu C dropping very deep to collect that.
Looks like actually Korsami will be playing as a right back, and that's the type of player he is, sacrifices for the team.
Villanueva venturing forward from the left back position. He's gonna get an opportunity to get the ball in. And already a threat from Cebu in their first foray forward.
That was a good cross from Villanueva. Cross that actually nearly flew into the back of the net. Looks like he'll be playing as a left back, but that won't limit him from going forward. Actually, interesting lineup from Cebu in general, because it looks like also Noah Leda will be in midfield.
Of course, Gadia on the bench. Started in their previous contest against Manila Digger. So it does look like a back line of... meanwhile, Andes looks like he's shaping to shoot. Abu C, and Antilo is behind it.
Yeah, two good attacks already from Cebu. Abu C just hitting it from distance, because why not? He did have the space. Actually has scored against Tuloy before, as they might get another chance here.
Shake and bake, and that opportunity is stopped by Michael Antilo. That's two saves in the span of 2 minutes for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, sustained pressure from Cebu. This is a good start from the Gentle Giants. Again, they need to make a statement today, or they need to get all 3 points rather. And they've started well in this opening exchanges.
They do like to play out from the back, itong Tuloy. It is dangerous when you give it up just outside of your own box. Loose touch from Kazuha Sudo.
Just on this Tuloy team, I just realized now that it's probably also in the back of their heads that they want to impress before a certain SEA Games squad is selected. Again, a lot of these players in the Tuloy team are eligible for that squad. So they definitely want to play themselves into that contention.
Again, one of those short passes from behind, just unable to break the first line, and that leads to an opportunity mula kay Rico Andes. Abusi. It's been all Cebu so far. That's going to be a whistle as the Senegalese forward is brought down.
Yeah, good hustle there from Abusi. Wins a free kick, and I think preparing this match, I think Cebu would have identified free kicks and set pieces overall as one of their strong points when compared to Tuloy. Obviously, the height advantage is with Cebu. Let's see if they can make it count this early on. For Tuloy, on the other hand, naman, it's about staying concentrated because they lack the height, so they need to make up for it in other ways.
It's quite a few giants inside the box right now. Don't reckon they're going to be too gentle on this free kick. A lot of pushing and shoving. Headed away by Tuloy. There's a whistle blown. Seems to have been contact to the face of one of the Tuloy players. It's John Rocky Grizola, who is needing a moment to recover here. He's clutching his mouth.
Yeah, not too sure actually what happened to him, but he is still down. Of course, it's a head injury, so the referee has to stop the game for now.
A bit worrying for Tuloy. They've been under a lot of pressure to start this one, and Hanan de Gracia has given away 2 dangerous passes from behind that have been cut out by Cebu that have led to chances. One more look at it. It looks like he might have made... Oh! It looks like with Noah Liddell, where there was some contact.
Yeah, Noah Liddell, probably not a player you want to get in too much contact with. He is a unit, by the way. Grizola is back up on his feet. I think Tuloy might just have to be careful now because for 1 or 2 minutes, they're going to play with a man disadvantage.
Tuloy. Again, they will never abandon that style. They will continue to play out the back, and they're trying to find a way through. Beyond Nunez. Rosquillo finds Corsame. He's got a bit of room. Able to send that one back. Villanueva. Sudo's out wide. They're going to send it back to Villanueva, who's continued his run. Nunez. Finally, Tuloy may chance ditong huminga. Ledo getting behind that. Suffocating pressure mula kay Cebu. Tuloy back in time, dispossessing.
It's a really high press from Cebu. I think Tuloy still yet to have a touch in their own front third. They might have it now. Good switch from Halike, showing more of that all-around play.
Diaz trying to feed the run. Couldn't find Lopanco.
Yeah, interesting that Tuloy have gone with the front 2 for this one. It's Lopanco and Halike up front. Might just ask a few questions of that Cebu backline, those 2 forwards.
Using his body well. Corsame on the overlap. Chance to get this ball in. And Antilo is there to deny.
Yeah, another good moment there for Cebu. They're just asking questions down their flanks of this Tuloy backline. So far, Antillo has answered those questions well. But it's only a matter of time if they keep conceding space down that side that Cebu create a goal-scoring opportunity.
First touch for the goalkeeper, Rami Jaridi.
Yeah, Jaridi, a really good signing from Cebu. has 10 caps for the Tunisian national team. At 40 years old, he is still quite springy for a goalkeeper. Of course, goalkeepers can go on to have late careers.
And Tito, that's a loose one. Just hasn't been quite so tidy from Tuloy at the back. Doing well, nice dip of the shoulder. Diaz is out wide, he's got room. Keeps the ball in play. Diaz attacking. And that's great defense from Villanueva.
Yeah, Villanueva doing well there. Again, he is a right-footed left back, so it's not the easiest position to play. But he has answered that one-on-one duel against Diaz well. And to be fair for Villanueva, he's made a good start to this game as a fullback, also going forward.
Great passing behind. Lopanco being shepherded by Rosquillo. Nabasa yung pasa ni Diaz. Villanueva sends that one long. Took contact on the release, and the whistle will be blown.
And just interesting that Cebu have fullbacks in Villanueva and Corsame in their opposite sides. So you have Corsame, who's a left-footed right back, and Villanueva, who's a right-footed left back. Could just be something that Tuloy might try to exploit. Of course, in the end of the day, those are two really good players anyway, so they could still do a job in that position.
Burst of pace. Great ball! It is the opening goal for Dynamic Herbs Cebu. A striker's finish from Rico Andes opens the scoring for the Gentle Giants.
Yeah, Rico Andes, he's been in fine goal-scoring form this season, and he continues it tonight against Tuloy. This is a really good finish. First touch, doesn't overload it with power. Instead, he just makes sure that it finds the back of the net with his placement. But what about that assist also to find Rico Andes in so much space? And from that distance, you'd fancy Rico Andes all day. Antilio might just be a little bit disappointed that it went underneath him. But in the end of the day, it's Rico Andes who will be the most happy from that scenario.
Great little burst of pace on the right side to create the opportunity. But still, a great finish from Rico Andes.
Yeah, what a season he is having so far, the number 10 of Cebu. Definitely one of their crucial players for the rest of this season because of the way he's played himself into that starting position.
Just about able to get a foot in was Denmark Urakoy.
I think Tuloy might just be a little bit stunned from that goal. It's up to them now not to get overwhelmed by the pure pace and power of Cebu.
Anderson is just about shown out. But great work from Ezrom Paulus earlier on. He's going to be a real potent threat on that right side.
Yeah, definitely one of the players that the Tuloy backline have to keep a closer eye on. You saw just why earlier on.
Nunez able to play it around the corner. Cebu, with the start they were looking for, able to get one early, ease the pressure.
Yeah, again, exactly the type of start Coach Glenn Ramos would have been asking for.
Halike. Antilio under pressure. It's a tough one for Nunez to control. Sudo! It's the second for Cebu.
Well, Nunez, hands on his hips, asking his goalkeeper, why did he give him that pass? Because it was a pass with so much power, and Nunez did his best to try and control it. But trying to control a pass with that much pace, it's no wonder that it was nicked, and no wonder that a goal-scoring opportunity was created. And from that angle and from that distance, there was only going to be one outcome for Cebu. 2-0 now, just 12 minutes in.
Antillo plays it quickly. Sudo pounces after that loose touch, and he's committed there. It was a tough one for Nunez to control. And Antilio committing early, leaving his near post open. And again, Tuloy looking out of sorts here.
Tuloy are just stunned from the relentless pressure of Cebu. From Cebu's end naman, it's exactly what they wanted. But for Tuloy, feels like every time they try to build up, it seems like they just can't get past that pressure.
Finding a bit of space on the left side. It's a good run forward, and he just eased off.
A good defensive work there from Camis. Doesn't actually touch the ball, but he just shielded his opposite attacker, and Jaridi would take that all day.
Great exchange. See out to Paulus. It's up against two. Ran into trouble. Alike. He's got a free roll to roam. It's great work from Sudo.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sudo already has a goal, but it's his energy off the ball also that is causing problems for the Tuloy build-up. And that's why it looks like he's been given the start at left wing tonight, and he's already repaid his manager's faith. Jaridi still yet to make a save, if my memory serves me right.
Leto spots the run. It's just beyond Paulus. Flag was up anyway. It's been a worrying start for Tuloy FC, and you can see very animated on the sideline. Their assistant. Not a lot has gone right for Tuloy as of yet.
Yeah, and very quickly, this match for Tuloy, it's become a little bit of damage limitation this early on. They just need to calm the game down a little bit, because at the moment it's being played at Cebu's pace. And all the duels and all the 50-50s are going Cebu's way. Tuloy just need to regain a little bit of that composure that we're used to seeing them with.
Alike is surrounded by three. Still manages to find a way to keep possession. Nunez able to spread it wide.
To be fair to Cebu, it looks like they got back in numbers really quickly, and they have a compact shape at the moment.
Of course, as a reward to their trophy-winning season last year, they will be playing on the ASEAN stage. Itong Cebu.
Yeah, 1 out of 3 teams that represent the Philippines in international club football.
So the PFL, not just a place where they want to be successful to get back to trophy-winning ways, but they need to be building towards becoming a stronger side regionally.
Again, of course, 2 years ago, and I believe the year before that also, they were in the second tier competition of AFC club football. They were in the AFC Cup before it was rebranded into the ACL2. So Cebu are a side that have qualified into those international competitions recently. They'll be hoping that by the end of this season, they keep that record. Again, they've not made the best start, but that record can still be kept. As we see Tuloy, another uncertain moment there.
That's more like it from the men in blue. Saud trying to take on Corsame. Forced backwards, Halike.
Yeah, really interesting that Halike is being forced to play so deep just to get involved. I think such is the shape of Cebu at the moment.
Nunez. Halike. Medyo napuwersa. It's a foot race. And Andes is quick. But he couldn't get there in time.
A really impressive turn of pace from Rico Andes. I think that's also how he got his assist last week against Manila Digger. Foot race, he'll back himself every time. You could see it there. His acceleration over 10 to 15 yards is rapid. And it's definitely something to watch out for from Tuloy because they like to play this high line that leaves some space for pacey players in behind.
And just trying to keep it simple.
Yeah, good shape from Cebu. Just clogging up the middle of the pitch where Tuloy really like to play. And that's why at the moment Tuloy can't really play their usual style.
Trying to play in behind. Rosquillo able to anticipate.
Yeah, also nice to see that Rosquillo has played himself into this 11. As we see Andes again here.
Looking for support.
Whoa!
He's brought down and it's going to be a penalty. Rico Andes just causing problems up front for Cebu.
Well, at the moment, Tuloy cannot deal with the pace of Rico Andes. He saw it again there, running into all the space left behind by the high line of Tuloy. And in the end, he rewards his team with a penalty. Let's see the challenge here.
Just got a foot to it to take it away from his marker. Inviting the tackle and taking the contact well. Sairon Sawat giving up the pin. Looks like Rico Andes has given up the opportunity to allow Ezram Paulus. Paulus is off the crossbar.
Well, that's a let-off for Tuloy. And Andes, having already picked up the ball and put it on the spot, might be regretting that he gave that penalty away. But in the end, Tuloy just dodged a bullet there.
Trying to ask too much of Anderson. Let's take a look at that penalty. Antilio forced to watch, pero malakas yung dasal. Arm was across from Kamis. Manhom Buku called for the foul.
Yeah, really aggressive play from Kamis, following his striker all the way into midfield. Looks like he's been instructed not to give any space to the Tuloy number 9s. And again, it's the solid shape of Cebu. You actually see Paulos dropping all the way back to form a back 5 at times. That's how solid they are. And that's why Tuloy can't really find the spaces that they usually find against other teams. Ooh.
Tuloy unable to re-find Cyril Saud. Villanueva sends it to Pinto. Antilo had been very busy today. Not even halfway through this opening period. Halike. Quick recovery from Cebu. And it's clean from Abusi. It's going to be a long-range effort. And that's well wide from Paulus.
But Tuloy just looked like they all stopped for a moment there. I think they were all expecting the foul that never came. And Antilio was far from his goal, and in the end the shot was wide. Again, Cebu's off the ball shape rather, just causing Tuloy problems.
Halike trying to get Saud into the play. Korsame picks his pocket. Trying to activate Rico Andes, who's clearly offside. He wanted that pass perhaps 2 or 3 seconds ago.
Yeah, you can just see it. The Tuloy back line is camped on the halfway line. And it's something that requires so much concentration, but it's something that Rico Andes will probably love to play against for the rest of this match because of his pace.
He's been licking his lips since the start of this. He's already got a goal to his name. He's already won 1 penalty. Jaridi sends it long. TULOY enjoying a bit more of the ball inside the opposition half. Haven't quite found a way through. Gonna pull the trigger and into the hands of Jaridi. That's a shot on target from Halike.
Yeah, and Jaridi launches the quick counter. Again, looking for Andes, who's just causing so much problems with his off-the-ball movement. Whenever TULOY have the possession in Cebu's half, it's Andes who's camped on the halfway line, constantly ready to spring into acceleration into the acres of space that TULOY leave open.
Take a look at the possession statistics, with Cebu having 10% more. TULOY working their way into the game now. Starting to find their connections.
Yeah, TULOY just taking better care of the ball now. There was a moment 5 to 10 minutes ago where every pass went astray, but now looks like they're doing better with their build-up.
Diaz. Trying to switch the play. Korosame heading that one back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's actually really composed from Korosame. Get that wrong might be problematic. But Jaridi, as far as I know, has only had to make that save from the long shot of Halike. Not truly been tested yet, the Tunisian goalkeeper.
That missed penalty, TULOY handed a lifeline. 3-0 would have been a different story. This one hasn't got out of hand just yet. Hindi lang puntos ang hinahabol dito ng Cebu. Goal difference seems like it might play a factor this year.
Yeah, this early on, you already have so many teams on the same number of points. So you do imagine if that trend keeps up, goal difference would be a crucial tiebreaker for any team in any part of the table.
Yeah, with Stallion getting a hefty victory against Philippine Army, Cebu will be looking to stay in step. But now this lovely passing from TULOY being put on display. Again, it's a very young side. Don Bosco TULOY.
Yeah, you can definitely see the Japanese influence in this TULOY side.
Reva unable to find a teammate. Just a bit soft on the pass.
Actually, I think the referee has awarded a free kick to TULOY.
Coach Glenn Ramos getting increasingly concerned on the sideline. Smooth sailing for a moment. And since they've missed that penalty, TULOY have found a foothold into the game.
Yeah, this is the type of possession that they couldn't have in the opening minutes, but now they are starting to have that type of possession. Halike really dropping deep. Not usually where we see him, but it's helping this TULOY build up.
Korosame only has Andes to aim for. And he gets it in behind. Andes peeling away. He's heading into the box. And just about poked away.
Well, there you see it again, Andes. He can be completely uninvolved in the play. But when he's camped on the halfway line and when he has space to run into, it's really hard to stop him. He's been causing problems for every opponent he's played against. And he's doing it again tonight.
He's been effective not just in the PFL, but also on the regional stage. Here we go on this, showing just what he's all about. A real predator in that front line.
And very impressive that he's played himself into the starting role for Cebu.
Sudo anticipating where the danger would be. Villanueva feels he was clipped.
Well, every time Cebu get the ball in that turnover in their own defensive half, they always look up to see where Andes is. And even times when it's not on, they still try to look for him. That's how much they trust Andes with that ball in behind.
Nunez unable to find Saud, who had taken the front position. Halike is in a free role. Everybody's just adjusting to him.
Yeah, Halike, still the only player to really test Jaridi, and even then it was straight at the goalkeeper. Would probably still want to get more chances in this game at the moment. He'll probably be feeling that his supply is not that good.
Paulos just drifting past his man.
Oh, pass.
Korosami getting forward. Left-footed strike. Oof, that might be an answer to why he's in that right back position.
Korsame venturing forward from right back, given the space to take the shot. So it was on. For a split second there also, it looked like Antilio might have dropped it in front of a Cebu player. In the end, he recovered just in time. And after a frantic start for Tuloy, they have composed themselves. Again, it is already 2, so it's not ideal. But finally, they've stopped the bleeding from Cebu.
This is their game. And that final third still proving quite a riddle for them. Cebu able to plug all the gaps.
Yeah, Halike is trying all sorts of different positions at the moment, trying to get more involved in this game.
Going for it from distance, Jaridi tested at his near post.
Well, from a Tuloy perspective, they'll be saying finally, after 30 minutes, we've tested Jaridi, and Jaridi is not happy with the fact that there was actually a lot of space for that shot to be taken, and it was goal bound. So in the end, there's actually a really good save from the goalkeeper.
Looked like he was wrong-footed for a moment. Didn't get a handle to it, but it is out for a corner kick.
You'd imagine Tuloy would go short. There they have.
Forced away from goal, but it's Nunez. Left-footed strike just wide of the target. Done well to wrong foot, Abusi, before releasing. Warning signs being fired by Tuloy.
Well, Coach Glenn Ramos is not happy with something because he's actually going to ready a substitution 31 minutes in. I don't think this is injury related unless there's something I don't know of. But there is a substitution getting ready for Cebu.
Confirmation on who will be replaced, but it is Bol Chol Bol Tong who is getting ready.
By the way, that might be the best name in the PFL so far. That is quite a name.
Korsame finds Paulus. Gets it in, and this right in front of goal. It's just beyond his reach. Pinto. And Sudo. Showed too much. Ooh, again, Tuloy You could have seen that one out. Instead, played the ball back into their own box. Playing with fire.
Well, they shot themselves in the foot there. And it's going to come back again.
Korsame. And Abu C, like a shot out of anger. It's well into the stands, and here is the substitution. It's going to be Esrom Paulus who comes off. Looked dangerous on the right flank. And then missed the penalty. And now he's come off.
Substitution for CEBU FC. Player number 19, Daniel Paulos, replaced by player number 33, Baltong.
Yeah, it looks like Abusi will just drift out to that right-hand side where Paulos was. And actually, no, it looks like Tong rather, will go to that right-hand side, and Abusi will stay at the midfield. Interesting that there's a substitution this early on, and as far as I'm still aware, it's not injury-related.
They're clearly unhappy with something about Paulus's performance. Usually in situations like these, it's an inability to follow the directions that the coach wanted. Nunez receiving under pressure. Always seems unfazed. Halike. Trying to get it back to Diaz. And fires it in. 2 opportunities. Tong gets it back.
Again, it's a very high line from Tuloy. Sudo and Andes just looking to spin in behind at any given moment.
Sudo. A constant threat on this left flank for CEBU, but he's being closely watched. It's a goal kick. Sudo can't believe it. Thought there was definitely a touch from John Diaz.
I think the referees actually changed the decision, so it is going to be a corner. Interestingly, again, height advantage is with CEBU, so this is one way they could take advantage.
Delivery will be given by Sudo. And a lot of shoving inside the box. As you can imagine, CEBU will be looking to take advantage of the stark contrast in their physique. Far post, and Tilo completely out of the play.
Well, Antilio went out to punch, but he was nowhere near it. He's very lucky, actually, that no one turned it in, because his goal line was vulnerable.
He's bumped into his own man and fallen down. Goalkeeper pulled at this point. Oof. Actually, could have been a penalty, it looked like.
Yeah,
Tong was kicked from behind. It's going to be a corner kick.
Some messy moments there for Tuloy. They have another corner kick to deal with.
A player down for Tuloy, but the delivery is made anyway. And you'd imagine now that Tuloy will be trying to avoid corner kicks at all costs.
Yeah, I think it was actually 2 CEBU players that got in each other's way. And had that not happened, maybe another outcome would have happened. But again, Tuloy set pieces definitely where most teams try to exploit them because of that height difference.
Halike. Taken away by Pinto. Tried to get it back. Not too much of the man. Anderson shrugging off the defense, and it's going to be Tong inside the box. Tong trying to wriggle free. He's a tricky one, and it's going to be another penalty.
Well, they didn't learn their lesson after the first one. And there it is again. It's another penalty. Late challenge. It's a guilty look. No protests at all.
Second penalty given away. John Rocky Grizola. Clarong-claro dito. Has a second bite at it right here. And it's just a bit reckless from the defender. Right at a moment where Tong was actually drifting away from goal and to the end line. And it's going to be the captain who takes charge. Roberto Corsame Jr. buries it for Cebu.
Well, that is how you take a penalty. And Corsame leading by example. That's now 2 goals in 2 games for the captain. So he maintains his goal scoring record until you're sent the wrong way. And Cebu will be happy that after missing that first penalty, the second one was more clinical.
Take a look at it here. Makes it look simple.
Goal for Cebu FC by player number 20, Roberto Corsame
A
Jr.
real letdown for Tuloy, who have done so well to get back into this game.
Yeah, Tuloy did well to stop the early bleeding, but the penalty might just take the stuffing out of them. Ooh. And quite interestingly, actually, it was actually there's a chance here after this. But as I was saying, it was actually Abusi who put the ball down on the penalty spot. Looks like he also gave it to Corsame. Corsame repaying the faith.
5 minutes to go in this opening half. Cebu now with a 3-goal advantage, but they were made to wait for that third for quite some time. 13 minutes in, we're up by 2. Had missed the penalty, and now scoring the penalty to increase their advantage. Suda with a bit of nice footwork. It's only blue shirts on the left side.
Yeah, Sudo, they're just running into traffic. But definitely an exciting player also to follow for Cebu and for the Cebu supporters, who, as far as I'm aware, also host watch-alongs every time their team plays. So they do have watch-alongs in their own stadium. Of course, it's not just a stadium. I believe it also serves as a cafe and restaurant. So it's nice to see that they've built that from the ground up.
I can imagine there'd be quite a party atmosphere over there in the Cebu home.
Yeah, and just on that venue creates quite the atmosphere every time there's a game there. So Cebu will probably miss that atmosphere whenever they're not playing there.
Sigurado yan ang inaabangan nila in the future rounds of the PFL, to get back in front of their home fans in that electric atmosphere.
Yeah, their record at their home ground is really strong.
That Dynamic Herb Sports Complex, a very difficult place to go to. The crowd really playing a factor in how games unfold.
Yeah, and I believe every time they play there, it's packed, no? So that's a very impressive feat that Cebu managed to accomplish every time they play a home game. And I believe when there are no PFL games, I think they also use that venue for other grassroots football stuff. So it's very nice to see that that venue, only a few years old, is already becoming a big part of Philippine football.
Space on that right side. Early cross. It's going to be easy for Jiridi. Didn't get the curl on it.
Yeah, Lupango was running into the space, but the cross gave him absolutely no chance. Jiridi will take that all day.
And apart from that one save from long range, there's a chance here actually for Cebu.
Tong again causing problems on the right side. This time safely into the hands of Antilo.
Well, Tong, despite his height, also looks to be a rapid player. That's now a few times. Also along with the penalty win that he's been found in behind the Tuloy backline. So he's repaying his faith to the manager for subbing him on this early on.
Yeah, and that's something that we did not get a chance to mention actually, is it's an inspired substitution from Glenn Ramos. Instant impact mula kay Tong. It's quite some conviction from Glenn Ramos dahil hindi naman masama yung pinapakita ni Paulus. Actually was involved in a lot of the dangerous moments for Cebu, but felt there was more to be offered on that right flank, and he's gotten it in the form of Tong.
Yeah, of course, Glenn Ramos, very familiar figure in Philippine football, especially in that Cebu area, from grassroots and now all the way to PFL. Oh.
Advantage being played as Diaz goes to ground. Alike. Ledel able to get a foot in.
Of course, Ledel didn't play last week against Manila Digger, and I think Cebu might have missed his presence. But he's back now in a midfield role, quite interestingly. But Ledel, definitely a player to watch out for, especially for the national team setups. A constant call-up to the U23. I'd imagine he's thinking about the senior team sooner rather than later.
Lovely footwork, and Andes is free. It's a great stop from Antilo.
Well, again, the movement of Andes, really smart. There was a moment there he nearly strayed offside. He curved his run to perfection. And he might be thinking that he should have scored there, but that was actually a good save from Antillo. Came out and made himself aggressive.
Another opportunity made by Bolchol Boltong. You have to say the whole name. Corsame backwards. Rosquillo. Into the box it goes, and Antilo misses it.
That was uncertain from the goalkeeper. He's lucky that no one was there to punish him from a Cebu shirt.
Rakoy just showed too much to Andes.
And there's been one or two moments like that in the first half where Cebu didn't have to do all that much to gain back the ball.
It's a great find from Nunez. Alike in support. Trying to get it in behind. And that is a fantastic stop from Camis.
Yeah, those long legs of Camis doing well to stop that Tuloy attack and to start an attack for Cebu.
Kailangan magmadali para sa Cebu. Got a commanding lead. 30 seconds to play here in the first half. Corsame has popped up in midfield. Sudo's got a bit of room. Let's see, showing his range.
A good diagonal there from Abu C. And he's played as a striker for most of his career, but he's given this new role in Cebu.
Leather with a long-range effort, and that should be the final action of this first half. A whistle blown in the middle by Samuel Mendoza. And it is a commanding lead for the Gentle Giants. Rico Andes got the party started. Goal scored just 3 minutes after, courtesy of Sudo. And then Corsame topped one away from the penalty spot. 5 minutes from the break. And that's where we stand. TULOY FC trailing by 3 after 45. Halftime at the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium between Tuloy FC and Dynamic Herb Cebu FC. 3-0 advantage for the Gentle Giants as of the moment. Scored early and doubled that advantage very quickly, but they needed to wait quite some time as Tuloy settled into the contest, needing a penalty from Corsame to get this 3-goal advantage. Thoughts on the match so far, Diego?
Well, there was a period where the floodgates felt like it opened for Cebu. In that opening 15 to 20 minutes, they just created chance after chance after chance. And Tuloy didn't help themselves with their possession, giving the ball away a couple times. There was Andes's first goal, but here was a disappointing moment for Tuloy. From their own build-up, they lose the ball and it's an easy finish for Sudo. And they also conceded a penalty in that first half earlier on that went on to be missed by Paulos. But in terms of Tuloy, for the first part of the first half, it felt like they were a bit suffocated in their own half. Eventually, they did settle into the game and test Jiridi once or twice. But in the end, it was Cebu who was going to stay in control for the whole first half, and they eventually got rewarded also with the third goal. Here was the most promising moment for Tuloy. It was a shot from distance that's still easy enough for Jiridi, and here was the final penalty.
Grizola giving it up and Corsame tucking away the resulting spot kick. And you have to remember it's young men out there for Tuloy. They're liable to make some mistakes that perhaps more experienced players would avoid. But as we take a look at some of the statistics, 14 shots for Cebu, 10 of them on target. They've got a little bit of a shade of possession, 53% for them. But fair play to Tuloy, they did find a way to get back into the game, eventually developing a foothold before conceding a third.
Yeah, again, we have to remember that this Tuloy team, full of teenagers and players in their young 20s, I think also according to our transfer-marked Warriors, that the average age of this Tuloy team is 20.5. That's how young they are. Probably even younger than a lot of other teams at their same age in the UAAP or in Ang Liga. So it's nice to see that Tuloy have made that step back into the PFL. Again, maybe a little bit of reality check that first half for Tuloy, that sometimes they are going to make those types of mistakes that could be a bit more avoidable with a little bit more maturity. As I think we're actually going to see substitutions from the Cebu side, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, it's going to be up to Tuloy now to re-establish themselves into this game.
Meanwhile, for Cebu, what have they done so well to nullify Tuloy and to have such a good advantage heading into this second half?
Well, that first part of the first half, their high pressure was really up there and really intense. And it just suffocated Tuloy because Tuloy couldn't build up at all. And another thing they've done really well is transitioning really quickly. You've seen the likes of Andes, Sudo being found in behind with their pace. And it was just too much for the high line of Tuloy as we see the substitutions for Cebu being confirmed.
So Abu C will give way to Daniel Gadia. Might be a bit more of preserving Abu C, making sure he's fresh for future fixtures, and a good opportunity to get some quality minutes for Gadia.
Yeah, Gadia gonna present another type of challenge for the Tuloy midfield. He's that all-action midfielder. Definitely not the type of player you want to play against.
Good test of physicality for this
Substitution for
young
Tuloy
side.
FC. Player number 2, Jordan Rocky Rizola, replaced by player number 15,
is going to make way.
Capistrano.
Look like Farnazo was introduced. We'll get confirmation on that shortly.
Yeah, Grizola just gave away that penalty in that first half. And he's been taken off during the halftime break. Let's see what type of change it creates.
Looking for Tong. Trying to cushion that into the path of Andes, who had a different idea. Great touch in the pocket. Kamis cutting out the through ball. Into Antilo.
Well, every time Cebu win back the ball, the first look is towards Andes and Tong. Because they're really, really rapid. And their sprint over 10 to 15 yards, it's just too much.
Saud unable to deliver that. And denied at the first barrier. All the way back to Antilo. He was a very busy man in that first half.
Yeah, in complete contrast to Jeridi, who was really inactive for most parts in that first half. Tuloy need to test him more to at least make the scoreline a little bit more respectable. At 3 goals down, it is a very tough mountain to climb. But from Tuloy's perspective, at least maybe make the score a bit more dignifying towards your end.
Rockaway hasn't found much joy going forward. Korosame just easing his man out of the way. Pinto back to Tong. Ledel getting numbers forward now. Opting for patience was Gadia. Rosquillo. It's got Korosame in an advanced position. Tong in support. Pinto gets it back to Tong, who's onside. Tuloy trying to clear their lines. Inviting the pressure. Side on Saud.
Oh!
Antilo and Gamboa getting into a mix-up.
Well, somehow
they figured out a way to get out. And here they come in transition. Chance here, just wasn't cushioned. And that is Tuloy football in a nutshell right there.
Well, it started all the way from their goalkeeper, nearly giving it away to Andes. And somehow they escaped that pressure, but that chance just fizzled out towards the end because it looked for a moment that they had numbers. In the end, the shot was taken from quite a tight angle. Tuloy could have gotten more from that if they played their cards differently.
But this is why they like to invite the pressure inside their own third, as if they are able to break through it. It is essentially manufacturing a counter-attack. They almost got an opportunity to make it pay. Oh, this is trouble for Tuloy. Antilo gets a hand to it.
Well, in complete contrast to their earlier play where they went from back to front, that was where it went wrong. Giving it away in a very dangerous position. Sudo will be feeling that he should have gotten more from that. Actually, really aggressive goalkeeping there from Antilio, but it pays off. But that was a dangerous moment. Could have been 4-0 there.
Oh, perfect encapsulation of the risk and reward of this style of play of Tuloy. If it works out, you're racing towards the opposite end, forcing the other team to scramble. If it doesn't work out, they're right on top of you.
And Cebu, to be fair to them, they've continued that high pressure on Tuloy. It's been relentless from them. And it's even led to a goal. You do imagine that as things stand, if they continue that high press the way they are, it could lead to more goal-scoring opportunities.
Korosame has taken the wide position. He's been found very well. Ledel, shot is blocked. Back out wide, and it's Antilo with a safe catch.
Yeah, Cebu, just complete contrast to Tuloy, who like to build up. Cebu naman, they like to go direct, but Tuloy could be in here.
Left-footed strike. Jaridi is behind that.
Yeah, Jaridi, good save there, was behind the ball and watched it the whole time. It flew towards him. Tuloy now, just 1 or 2 moments now that they've gotten in behind. Haven't manufactured the most opening type of goal-scoring opportunity, but 1 or 2 shots here and there. I do imagine they'll still want to create a more likely goal-scoring position in this second half.
Kurosame. He's got space in front of him. Tong makes the run. And it's going to be foul.
Tong with a smile on his face, seeing the funny side of it.
A rare ball in behind from Tuloy. Could pay off. Rosquillo with a use of his arms will be called for the foul.
Yeah, Rosquillo just misjudged the flight of that ball and brought his man down. The referee opting not to give a card for that. Here's the replay. Good first touch actually to beat Halike from Lupango. It's going to be a set piece to Tuloy. Again, they do not have the height advantage, so they usually go short from these types of positions. Let's see what they do here.
Side on Sawat over the ball. Looks like he's actually going to send it into the box. Nope. Had me fooled. And Gadia. That patented physicality in midfield. It's drawn some frustration from his counterpart. Lupango loses possession and Cebu able to go the other way.
What a switch. What a switch.
Sudo. Trying to get past his man. He's going to be called for the foul. A bit of a contrast in defending styles. The left back and the right back of Tuloy. This one not committing to any challenges.
Well, again, you saw it there. High press from Cebu, nearly paying off yet again. But that time, it's an obvious foul, and Tuloy will build up.
Able to turn. Gadia. Rather, that was Villanueva who was strong in the challenge. Good, solid defending. Cyrus Gamboa using his body well to deny the much bigger man.
Yeah, good strength there from Gamboa. It's not easy when you're physically less imposing than your opponent, but he did well in that scenario, to be fair to him, and Tuloy escape this high press once more. Ooh.
Trying to spread it, it's way under hit.
Well, that was a missed opportunity for Cebu because they actually had some numbers in attack that could have been found, but the pass was just misdirected.
Kurosame. Felt like he was pushed in the back. Didn't get the whistle. Able to find the hole, and it hits the upright. Fantastic attempt.
Well,
manufactured for Seidel Sawat.
That's so unfortunate for Tuloy because they actually finally made that chance, that goal-scoring chance. What a pass. No offside there. It's actually a save, I think, from Jaridi. tips it on to the post. So that's a really good save from the Tunisian to keep his clean sheet intact thus far.
Incredible. The first real look at what TULOY is capable of in the final third.
Well, TULOY, it worked there. And that's the type of chance they want to manufacture when they do play with their build-up style.
Gadia has been a disruptive force. Long-range effort. And Antilo behind that.
Yeah, until you just lost his footing for a second. A bit uncertain there from the goalkeeper, but in the end, he made the save. Again, high pressure from CEBU. Looks like a man-to-man approach is being taken, and it's paying off yet again.
Trying to dribble out of trouble. Found a bit of trouble. It's out wide. Orakwe getting there in time. He's got support. Saud. Halike. And Orakwe got involved. It was from an offside position.
Yeah, and that play all came from a good pass from Halike to find his winger. Actually, TULOY had numbers also in that attack. But I think it was a offside call on their own player, despite the fact that Halike was the one who took control of the ball anyway. So nothing comes out of that attack. Again, TULOY, they have created one or two half chances and that one big chance in this second half. So you do imagine that there is a goal in this game for them.
Just looks like they're on the ascendancy for the moment. But here comes CEBU. It's been straight into the hands of Antilo on several occasions.
Yeah, until you're having to be an aggressive goalkeeper for this match because of the amount of times that CEBU tried to play over and directly into Andes.
Making his way forward, Lupango gets beyond his man. Can he find a teammate?
Oh,
He's cut it back to Daniel Gadia.
well, he had a player in the box for the cutback. In the end, it didn't find him. He actually had two players up there with him, but it was straight to Gadia. And you saw the frustration from the CEBU coach, or from the TULOY coach rather.
Andes making a run, unable to bring it down. And possession statistics are swinging. 48% now to TULOY. See the coaching staff really animated. Chance here for CEBU, and it's a fantastic opportunity. And what a missed chance. Rico Andes unable to sort out his feet in time. And it looked like a gimme.
Well, Coach Glenn Ramos is livid with the way that chance panned out, because the moment Andes gets the ball, you think there's going to be one outcome and one outcome only. And then the chip was off target. TULOY escaped there, but CEBU would be feeling that it should have been another goal.
There's an opposite of how he took his first goal. And this time he took his time instead of taking it first time. And the chance goes begging for CEBU. And into the hour mark we go. Still scoreless in the second half. CEBU haven't been able to build on their advantage, and TULOY have been getting closer and closer.
Yeah, at 3-0 down, it's not the best scoreline to look at from TULOY, but any goal would make it a little bit more respectable.
Player down, Lupango seems to have taken a bit of studs to the foot. It's a painful one from a big man in Tong. And TULOY, aside from gifting Cebu a few opportunities, have done much better in this second period.
Yeah, if you take the silver linings, it's scoreless, as you mentioned, in this second half. And they also had that big chance to add to the scoreline, get their first goal. In the end, it was tipped onto the post. For TULOY, at least, you can say from them that they stopped the momentum of Cebu from that first half, because there was times in that first half where it felt like Cebu could get a lot of goals in this game.
Sudo has switched flanks. We're going to find a bit more joy on the right side, but Villanueva just trying to find the penetrating pass.
Well, every time a Cebu player gets on the ball, it's Andes darting in behind. Reminds me of a very certain Jamie Vardy. Just plays on the shoulder constantly, looking to get in behind every possible chance, as there was a foul there on Pinto.
Nunez called for the foul. TULOY have asserted themselves much better in the second half. And meanwhile, for Cebu, they've lost a bit of that intensity.
Yeah, you do imagine that Coach Ramos of Cebu will want his team to regain a little bit of that intensity for the rest of this match, because, as we did mention, goal difference could play a factor later on in the season. So for all the teams looking to finish in the championship round, goal difference is a must.
Villanueva trying to find a teammate, and that goes out for a goal kick. Substitutions looming for Cebu.
Again, if you are from the TULOY side, again, you do have to acknowledge the youth of your team. But you must also be saying to yourself that this could be quite some team if they stay together in the next 3 or 4 years.
Sudo couldn't connect with Rico Andes. So much room for Halike to exploit.
It's 4-4.
It's a great pass. Saud! Cyril Saud in the perfect spot once more.
Well, the best chances for TULOY have fallen to Cyril Saud. Unable to take either of them. First one saved onto the post. Second one straight at Jaridi. Imagine he wouldn't want to watch that back.
Pinto cutting inside, has it poked away. Tong. Andes, flag is raised. It's a painful one for Sidon Saud. When denying Pinto, took a shot to the shin.
And just seeing some TULOY players also just stretching their calves a little bit. Might imagine there's a little bit of fatigue in this TULOY team at the moment. Again, in terms of fitness, you'd also fancy Cebu in this one for the last part of this match.
Gadia. Bit of a dangerous pass going backwards to Camis. He's going to be called for the foul.
Yeah, Camis actually did really well there, because nearly turned into a pass in behind for TULOY. That back pass from Gadia, as Cebu will actually also prepare another change momentarily.
Hannibal Ahmed Bond being readied. And it is going to be in place of Rico Andes, who's unable to add to his tally.
Replaced by player number 55, Hannibal Bond.
After 20 minutes, Coach Glenn Ramos has seen enough. And this certainly had quite the opportunity to add to his total. Just took a little bit too much time in front of goal. Another loose pass. This one leading to an opportunity, and it is a goal for Cebu. First touch of the game into the back of the net from Bond.
Well, there's no better way to introduce yourself as a substitute striker than scoring on your first touch. How about that? He's assisted by, I believe it was Tong, the two Australians combining. And Cebu will be happy that it was scoreless in the second half, but finally they've added to their lead.
Goal for Cebu.
Take a look at that on a quad vision replay. Tong putting it on a plate, and it's tucked away. Fine finish from the substitute. And not for the first time in this game, Coach Glenn Ramos, a stroke of genius with a substitution.
Yeah, actually two substitutions combining for that goal. Again, it was the pace in behind of Tong that was too much to deal with for the fullbacks and center backs of Tuloy, and that's why he was found with so much space, and the cutback was into Bond, who scores with his first touch. How about that?
Finding it over to the right side. Nunez. Touched on. And finally, we see a goal in this second half. It was a 22-minute wait. In the end, it was well worked from Dynamic Herb Cebu. Again, available in behind, trying to set up his teammate.
It was the same combination. Once again, Tong to Bond. Again, the two substitutes combining. Definitely something to watch out for the rest of this match.
Tong had shifted to the tip of the spear. It looks like, oof, lovely work from Corsame. Tong with an opportunity, again, unselfish from him. He could have gone on his own.
Oh, there's a kick out from Corsame. And a Tuloy player.
Hasn't been spotted by Samuel Mendoza. It's a bit of nonsense from the two players.
Well, the Tuloy coaching staff is livid from that play.
Diaz and Corsame getting involved. And almost a fifth for Cebu. But certainly that moment, something to be considered. That kick out from Corsame. And getting involved with Diaz. And now there's more discussions being made. Taketomo Suzuki hasn't had a lot of time on his feet today, but that one certainly got him off. The player down for Cebu. It looks like Brian Villanueva. The fourth official certainly in the ear of Samuel Mendoza. And Brian Villanueva here caught by the goalkeeper. You expect he'll be all right. Now there's a discussion being had here. Samuel Mendoza is going to speak to fourth official, Chris Melcayabyab, after hearing reports of that entanglement in midfield.
I imagine this will be a lengthy discussion given what happened also in the dugout from Coach Suzuki of Tuloy. Again, there is no VAR in the PFL.
Hand is in the pocket, and you wonder what's going to be dished out here. It looks like a yellow to Roberto Corsame. But it looks like Diaz is going to get punished as well, or definitely there's going to be a second yellow card. Each player is cautioned.
Well, that's the third yellow card of Tuloy this season, but it's the 8th for Cebu, and there's going to be one more actually for Tuloy, one for the coaching staff. Can't see who specifically it's for, but that marks Tuloy's 4th yellow card this season.
Things getting a bit heated. 19 minutes to go. Because you can't be too disappointed if you're a Tuloy supporter. You want to see that fire from your players, even if they are chasing what seems to be a lost cause.
And I think for Tuloy and the Tuloy team, I think they acknowledge that the scoreline is really steep, but they'll want to make the scoreline just a little bit more presentable, because at 4-0, it's a really grave sight. For Cebu naman, I think their main goal would be to preserve that clean sheet, which they haven't had much of this season.
Gadia. Finds support on the left side. Plenty of red shirts inside the box.
Well, Cebu still with that high pressure.
Navigating it well, Tuloy. Diaz. That's a great recovery from Sudo, and Diaz needs to be careful now. He's walking a tightrope, and you can tell he's visibly disappointed and frustrated out there.
Yeah, it looked like a foul out of frustration, but good work again from Sudo, working really hard off the ball. Again, that's how he got his own goal, because he won back the ball in the penalty area of Tuloy. And yeah, as you mentioned, any more fouls could lead to something more.
And surprisingly, we're not seeing a lot of movement on the bench for Tuloy. Meanwhile, Pinto, Nadel arriving. Gets it wide, Villanueva. Sends the ball in. Diaz brought down. You can imagine he's going to be a bit sore tomorrow.
Well, with just 15 minutes, just over 15 minutes rather to go, I think Cebu would be really happy with this. Again, a win today doesn't put them right up there where they want to be, but it would help their case, especially that they are, or they started the night rather, in 7th place.
They'll be keeping in step with Stallion, but still behind on goal difference. Just relentlessness from Lupango. Diaz has room. Gets it out wide. Halike. Can't find room to shoot. Diaz getting to it, and he could get sent off.
Well, that's a lot of leniency from the referee, that he's not reached into his pocket again.
He is right on the edge, peeking over. If Diaz is called for a foul at this point, regardless if it's a meaty challenge, you'd imagine he's going to get sent off.
Yeah, that would be Tuloy's first red card, because so far this season they haven't had any. Meanwhile, for Cebu, they had one last week for Amirul, who they'll miss in their next game actually, against Aguilas.
Does it come as a surprise to you, Diego, that there's no real attempt to get Diaz off the pitch here from Tuloy.
Well, I would imagine it's in the coaching staff's mind to make a substitution, but just looking at their warm-up area, there's no one really vigorously warming up. And with just under 15 minutes left, do wonder if any change will still happen. Not too sure whether or not Tuloy will make any more changes, because they also have a really light bench at the moment.
Nunez. Soft touch to Halike. Lupango, it's straight offside, but Seidel Saud able to support from the left flank. Diaz skipping past two, gets a good ball in. And it looks like he's pulled up with a cramp as well.
And that was some amazing footwork from Diaz. A bit too much for him physically. Still stretching his legs.
Halike gets it wide. Urakoy pulls the trigger. Left-footed strike is over. Here come a pair of substitutions for coach Glenn Ramos. Leo Makiling is going to enter alongside Glenn Thomas Ramos. Pinto Noguera will make way alongside Sudo.
A good outing from Sudo. Has a goal to his name. Be happy that he ended the night adding to his stat. Here was that good footwork from Diaz. Again, he did cramp up after. Just do wonder if fatigue is starting to settle in this Tuloy team.
Glenn Ramos.
Leo Makiling, he's gotten off the mark this season. Scored plentiful 2 matches ago.
Yeah, nice to see a former Ateneo player, also a former UAAP player, making his way to the PFL in Leo Makiling.
Called for the tug. Gadia.
Well, Tuloy running out of time, but still have over 10 minutes to get a consolation. And it would be a consolation at this stage, given the scoreline and the amount of time remaining. Again, they did pull out 1 or 2 big chances. Both actually to Cyril Saud, and both actually saved by Jaridi. Jaridi would be really eager to keep a clean sheet.
Opportunity here from the set piece. Can they do better than striking the upright like Cyril Saud did not too long ago? Cyril measuring this, could go direct, and he does. It is wide of the target.
Yeah, it was quite some distance. A free kick from there would have to be perfect, especially against a goalkeeper like Jaridi. In the end, it's quite a way wide. I don't think Jaridi was even diving at all. So at the moment, the Cebu clean sheet is still intact.
Lupango able to tie his shoes in time to apply a bit of pressure. Corsame easing past.
Well, interesting. It looks like Noah Ledo is going to get the full game as a midfielder. Do wonder if that's something that Coach Glenn Ramos is thinking about also in the future games. Usually a center back for club and country, Noah Ledo, but has done an okay job as midfielder tonight.
Makiling applying the pressure. Tuloy navigating the press. Unable to get past Villanueva. The player goes down. Rakoy clutching his face, and Villanueva is going to go into the book, it seems.
Yeah, Villanueva getting a yellow card against his former team. No love lost there. Turned into a personal battle between the two. In the end, just a bit too much.
There's the elbow at the end of that. Just made contact right in front of the referee.
Again, the next match for Cebu is a tough one. Aguilas, as they're in here.
Makiling pulls the trigger early. Blocked by Antilo. Can they get a second bite at the apple?
Well, what a chance that was for Makiling. In the end, it was saved by Antilio, who makes a poor clearance afterwards.
And Halike just gives it back. Cut back. Makiling getting his foot in. Nunez gets it up into really a dangerous area. Nadell, left-footed strike is blocked. The danger taken out of that one.
Well, that all came from poor build-up. First, it was the poor clearance from Antilio, then Halike giving the ball away. You can just see some drowsy legs at the moment for Tuloy, losing that energy.
Oh, opportunity for Tong. Just needed to get his touch right.
Well, what a substitute appearance it has been for Tong. Again, came on in the first half, not usually when you see substitutions, but he's made a good case to start the next game.
Tuloy giving it away from a throw-in. And so close to being scored on, and it would have been entirely self-inflicted, as Bond only able to get that one onto the roof of the net.
Well, errors seeping in now for this Tuloy team. And there's another one.
Beyond Capistrano. Tong getting it into the danger zone. Halike gets it down the line. Diaz keeps it in play. Not quite.
Well, again, Tuloy actually don't play for 2 weeks, so they could do with that rest. Again, I believe the match is next week. It's only going to be triple header, so there are going to be quite a few teams in the PFL that will get a rest. Tuloy's next game after 2 weeks is against Army. You do imagine that's a match they'll fancy themselves to get all 3 points. But at the moment, they're going to have to see out this match with a little bit of fatigue now in their legs. Can just see their movement starting to get a little bit sluggish.
And again, it makes you wonder why there's no movement on the bench. Quite a few that could perhaps use a breather for Tuloy. Or is it that they are committed to finishing with this 11 on the pitch? Meanwhile, Cebu eager to find a fifth. Add a bit of emphasis to this already one-sided affair.
Well, Tuloy is still dedicated to that style of playing out from the back, but there it is, it bites them again.
Gadia not found. Villanueva slowing things down for Cebu. It's a reset all the way back to Juridi.
You can just see in the first half, Tuloy's backline, every time the ball went back to Juridi, Tuloy's backline would race up to the halfway line. There's none of that energy here in the dying moments of this game.
Ramos was sending that one into the middle. Lupango cushions it. Nunez out wide. Urakoy. Getting numbers forward. Tuloy. Have space on the left side. They're finding a good run on the right. Cut back, Lupango. Nunez sumusuporta. It's a great strike. On target, but into the hands of Juridi.
Yeah, Jaridi will really want to keep that clean sheet. Did well to make sure he got his hands behind that shot. Oh,
Tadel dispossessed. Cyril Sawit brought down. Pero malinis daw yung challenge ni Rosquillo.
was expecting that offside flag to go up, and it never did. And that was another huge opportunity to get on the score sheet for Tuloy. In the end, it doesn't even test Jaridi. They'll be really disappointed with that.
Diaz popping up. Great spot. In a really dangerous area.
Well, you do imagine Tuloy would be ruining those chances because they had the chances to get on the score sheet.
Ramos cutting that one out. And Liddell seems to be struggling with a bit of cramp. And meanwhile, Sahor is going to check in for Tuloy. Finally, a substitution being made as John Levis Sahor will come on for Lupango.
Substitution for Tuloy FC. Player number 11, Justin Lupango, replaced by player number 20, John Levis Sahor.
Second substitution for Tuloy. Cyril Sawit. Ambitious attempt.
Yeah, would have taken something special to beat Jaridi from there.
Jaridi almost looked offended by that. Makiling right on the shoulder. If that did not sail out of bounds, was in a great position to threaten. Tatlong minutong idadagdag sa ating second half. And what is a guaranteed 3 points for Cebu. Murakoy gets it back to Halike. And there's a lot of room for Bond to exploit. He's got Tong in support. Makiling is arriving. And he's tried to cushion that into Gadia, who's overrun it.
Referee getting in the way of that pass from Tuloy, to the frustration of the Tuloy bench.
2 minutes to go. Tuloy still chasing that consolation. Runs in behind. Opportunity. Juridi had gotten in the way initially. Attack still alive. Sadal Saud. Halike. Saud once more. Nunez has arrived. And he's lost out. Cleared away by Juridi. It might actually start an attack. Nunez has cramped up. Tuloy is down to 10 for the time being. Meanwhile, Halike has possession. Back to Ramos. He's looking to get it into the path of Gadia. He's lost track of the ball, but he's managed to stay in step. And he's won his duel. Makiling arriving. That's well spotted in the end by Cyrus Gamboa. Final opportunity for Tuloy. It's a great pass, and what a stop from Juridi.
Well, it's those two again, Cyril Saud and Juridi, dueling it out, and Juridi once again with the world-class save from the world-class goalkeeper.
Dalawang linggo mapapagnipan nitong si Cyril Saud, si Juridi.
The 3 minutes is up, so you imagine that the referee will blow the whistle at any time.
And Juridi's heroics keeps the clean sheet for Cebu FC as they take home all 3 points. An important win to keep them within step of the chase to finish in the top 6. Glenn Ramos will be quite pleased with a professional performance from his side. They got the job done against a Tuloy FC that were tricky, especially in the second half. But ultimately, Tuloy blanked on this one side. Al Saud coming close on 3 separate occasions. But Cebu, one-sided affair in the end.
Yes, Cebu will be happy that they boost themselves with 3 points, 3 crucial points. Again, they have a very tough run of fixtures after this. It's Aquilas followed by Maharlika. So this 3 points for Cebu was really important, so they keep in touch with the rest of the teams above them. Here were the second half highlights. A lot of action between Juridi and Cyril Saud. He was one good save from Juridi, tipped onto the post. And that was the start of a personal duel that would ensue for the rest of the second half. A lot of chances also for Cebu, coming off poor build-up play from Tuloy. There was another personal battle between Cyril Saud and Juridi. Here was, I believe, the goal, the first touch of Bond. James Bond, no, it's Hannibal Bond this time. Scoring off his first touch as a substitute. The 2 substitutes combining really well there. And overall, good substitutes from Coach Glenn Ramos. And yeah, he'll be really happy with the 3 points tonight.
Saud there denied at the end from close range, and that's how it finishes here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. A triple header capped off with Dynamic Herb Cebu earning a 4-0 victory against Tuloy. For my partner Diego Cordero, my name is Jing Hamlang. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Hi. Today's game. It's an important game for us, but we have to more score. But we scored 4 goals. We need to improve next week because next week against Aguilas we have to win. That's why. Yep.
Your message to the fans.
Thank you for coming, our supporter, and watching on YouTube our supporter. Thank you.